So I got the handle in. However, it doesn't fit. So we're going to have to trim down the inside here to make it fit. So let's bring it closer. Alright, so now we're going to try to file these down. So the best way is to file the handle here instead of trying to mess with the blade itself, the tang. So we can be patient and we'll just use some files and then slowly whittle our way down to what we need. So we'll keep test fitting every now and then. Let's do this one to start. I'm just going to clean up this edge here. I'm probably going to rattle the table a lot. Like I said, we'll do test fits every now and then, just to see how much changes. So we might have to also widen, what I'm seeing, the sides this way. There. So, see how far we have come. Where I need to work up from now. We'll start down here again. Here. This one. Let's do another check to see if we made any progress. So there's our original mark right there. And I can go up a little bit further now. I'll mark that again so I can show you how far we've gone with just that little bit of work that we've done. So we've gone like a whole centimeter there now. You guys can see that. There you go. Which is that little bit of time we did, we've gone like a whole centimeter. Now, while we're here looking at this, the SEPA and pretty much all of this furniture here, I've had to fit in a certain way to fit on here. So with the Abaki, I've had to trim down right here because it matches the same depth here. So I had to match it on this side so it fit on the blade. Because like the blade comes out and then cuts down to the tang thickness. And then I had to file down the SEPA some. And I filed down the inside of my Suba here a good amount. Which it now fits snugly. Let's get back to filing here. Let's see. Let's clean this up some more here. Actually, on the side out. Right now I'm just kind of looking for inconsistencies with how I filed, making things a little more even. This guy here. Or this side here. Alright, I'll do another test fit. So again, last time we finished right here. We now get really close. Let's make that a little thicker. Up there. So we've got like another centimeter or so. So we're almost there. So look here. Okay, well, I'm not going to do it. Maybe that'll work. This side's a little thicker up here, down here, compared to this side. So I'm not going to work on that. Oops. Now I'm not just filing like the entrance here, I'm going back to. Okay. Now we'll do another fit check again after all that. So we kind of stopped right there last time. Now we're getting a little closer each time. And I'm just scoring it to match our progress. So I actually pushed it in there kind of firm that time, so I'm going to break apart. There we go. Continue looking at this. So again, I'm going to look at it, figure out what part is still too thick. I'm looking, I'm seeing this side right here and right here. So I'm just going to continue filing these down. Actually shove. Let's put it right here. Lift it up a little bit. Because I want it to fit snugly. I mean, like, we're getting really close here now. Now with this handle that I got, they did glue the Fuchi on, so can't really get that off. I mean, it's still a very nice handle. We got some real same under there. Nice little flower ornament. The wrapping is very tight, so I like that. We have a little flower for the Koshirae. Overall, I think I'm gonna like the handle. Just gotta put some work into it to make it work. This way, run this way. The reason why I'm trying to focus up here is because this is where the shinogi, the thickest part of the blade, is still kind of sticking out the most. So I really want this area here to be worked out. Well, alright, let me know. Let's see. Maybe a little bit more. Like I have it on, right? But there's still a little play here. I mean, I could probably so I did just shut up the play by whacking it down on my knee. So it's looking pretty decent. Yeah, I think that'll work. So now we have to put the holes in it. So let's do that. Alright, now that we're at the press, we now need to put the holes in this, right? So usually the first Mikugi peg is going to go into the first full diamond, so it's going to be this one here on this side. But I don't want to wedge up and to hit this when I'm drilling that hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little piece of metal I'll slide behind there so I don't whack that. So I'm just going to see, this is our first full diamond here, so this is the one I need to cover. I'm just going to slowly slip this in there. There we go. That way I won't accidentally drill and hit through my eco wrapping there. So I can drill safely knowing that that's not going to be damaged. Now, the sizing is really just up to you on what size you want to go up to on pretty much whatever size Mikugi peg you got. If you're going with chopstick size, go up to chopstick size. If you have something a little bigger, like this one did come with some Mikugi pegs that you need to whittle down. So I'm just going to get around there and we'll see how that goes. So now I'm just going to line up and firmly hold down on the handle. We'll line up where we want it, dead center here. Okay, we'll turn it on. Go down. Nice and slow. Now we'll have to do it again a little lower. I'm thinking this one right here. So for that one, we're going to need to check the other side. It's going to be this one that's going to be in our way. Slowly wedge this in here. Okay. Right up there is where the purchases are at. Hold. The size. So for an example, these are the Mikugi pegs that I have. So this is the one I just got that came with this handle. But I might just use what I have from previous ones. So I want to base what I have. So this is going to be, so that one's going to be too small still. I'm just going to base and feel. See if they're about the same size. That's probably going to be the one I want. This is, I can't do it. Check alignment. Alignment we want right there. Firmly hold. Firmly hold it. Now the interesting thing with this is that we need the handle to line up in a certain way with the tang. We want the handle to be a little bit, yes, we want the tang holes to be a little bit further up than the sukas holes, the Koshirae. So we'll put this on, we'll mark where those are, shift it just a hair up. Okay, we're throwing that one. I forgot. So don't be like me. I forgot to do this again. And I kind of frayed my ito wrapping a little bit. So we now have our 2 pilot holes here. So we'll swap them to the bigger one now. This side. We'll give this a little goop. Keep it happy. Let's head back to the table. So now we'll choose from our selection here of kugi pegs. I might go with this one because it's thicker and I'm already using it for other builds, so that just saves me less pieces for the future. So to cut this down, I'm probably going to just cut it in half and then use those for our 2, and then we'll make them a little thinner here to fit better. So I now have 2. Now what we'll do is just shave one down at a time to where it fits all the way through the hole and is snug. So let's start with this one here. Let's see what we need to do. So might just need an all-around trimming to start. So we'll do that. Shift this up here. Just do a little bit at a time. Nothing too big. I mean, I guess you could start doing bigger stuff off the bat. of leeway here. Not yay much. Pull that there. And then I'll trim wherever that mark is, that much off. So let's do the other one here now. Okay. Look to see where it's rubbing. It's rubbing right here, I can see. So I'm just gonna whittle a little bit on that. So I have my two pieces now, so we'll go ahead and pop this one in. Remember where the hole is? Okay, so this one goes in that way. Press it in. Maybe use another one. Make sure it's a firm press. Look at it. Looks pretty firm. Check. That's pretty firm. So I bet even right now, try that out. That's very firm. Very minimal movement. Yeah, so, okay. Now, with this guy, how are we looking now? Okay, that feels a little better. Let's use my push tool, another Makugi peg. There. Okay, how bad are we pushing over here? We can see that it's catching right here. So we'll just give it a little bit more of a shave, and then we'll trim it down a little bit of a ways. So I'm saying we give it that much to cut. Chop that. And now we'll put this in one more time. And we'll press it in. Yeah, that's in there. Alright. Clean up my workspace and we'll show you how it goes. Alright, the blade is done. So we've gone ahead and wrapped the saya with the Saigo cord. We've drilled out the holes for the suka and through the tang. We've filed down our inside of our suka to fit onto the tang. We've even whittled down our Makugi pegs. We cut down a little section right here to fit the blade, but I think it's come out very well.